You told me that not necessarily what you're passionate about is pretty much what you're good at or what you're going to provide value at.
Necessarily yeah, like, oh, well, okay, let's clean that up, I guess, or in my mind.
Uh-huh.
See, wait, say that again.
So not having passion for something is not necessarily is the place that you're going to put most value out.
Yeah, yeah, like
Okay.
where you can add value may or may not be where you are passionate, or where your passions lie.
Okay. So for me, that would be impossible because I would like literally would physically deteriorate, if I was doing something that I didn't like, which I did. So, but I don't know if that's the same experience with a lot of people or not. I have no idea. That's why I want to listen and learn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but maybe in your scenario, like, there wasn't actually value. It was
Correct.
literally
Yeah.
just a way to get a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And through that lens, it was a waste of time,
Correct. Yes. Maybe my experience actually led me this because I had no other option. That's correct.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I was saying yesterday is like, if you happen to have a skill
Uh-huh.
or a way or a value to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
you should maybe consider using it,
Okay.
even if it's not where your passion lies, and then kind of having your passion, like, it's not the end of your life to have like a part of your day where you're doing something you don't like, so long as it's getting you something, or like there is a point to it, So like, I don't know, I can't think of an example. I'm just like, I guess ideally in a dream world, you'd have like a job that is like also your passion, so like your whole day is just
Mm-hmm.
seamless flow state and you're just loving life, And if you have a vision to get that, sure, go for it, so long as it doesn't like put you in a worse off position,
Okay, of course, yeah. Mm-hmm. There has to be a practical steps, yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, like, I don't think people should get super hung up on being miserable if they've got, I mean, I get, okay, like, I've been really fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I shouldn't even chime in on this topic, because I've been able to, even if my jobs weren't like, prestigious, or like it, to somebody else, they'd be like, that's not a great job, but I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So I, like, I never felt like, fuck, I have to go do this. That was more like school for me. So, I mean, I know that's kind of childish to have to go back to school, high school, middle school to relate. But it's like, okay, actually, I mean, it's childish. It's a childish example. I'm sorry, but it is very like, it fits here because I hated it. I absolutely hated every day of school.
Okay.
I dreaded it, but it's where I learned all the skills I was going to need in life.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to go. I had to. My future wouldn't be the same if I didn't.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I didn't hate every fucking day of it. And you know what? I actually, because I hated school so much, I think that's like where my like passion for life in general kind of started to build, was that like it would build in me how much I hated it. And then as soon as I was out of school, like after school for me was like a rebirth every day.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm free. Like I can go do whatever the fuck I want. Like I'm gonna go ride my bike. I'm gonna go like build a jump, or like go run in the woods. I'll go hit up my neighbor and like socialize. And like I knew I had homework coming up, and I was terrible at homework. That's like, I was a decent student as far as understanding stuff, but homework I was terrible. So it was always like, A, B's during the day, and then C, D's at night. Because I wouldn't do my homework. But yeah, I would get too caught up in my freedom of the afternoon. I'm like, I'm not giving it up. Fuck my homework.
Was that imprisoning for you?
Oh, I fucking hated school so much. I just like, I'm 41 years old, and I like all the time I'm like, I never have to go back to school again. I'm done. Like I
Real?
wow.
I
hated it. I hated that shit.
Wow. Okay.
But like I was saying, it like fired me up for like, so my point, long story short, is like half my day sucked, but it was a good investment of my day.
Ah, I see your point now.
And then the rest of the day was actually better off because I hated the first part so much. Where everybody else was like, okay, school's done. I'm just going to like go home and watch TV and
But
kill some
wouldn't
hours until homework time and then start all over.
Okay, I
So,
see your point. So that actually falls in line perfectly with what I'm trying to say is that you're not gonna actually do this without doing the stuff you're scared of the most at the beginning, because you're taking a leap of faith on yourself, and that's for some people is an uncharted territory. So for you to develop the steps that you're gonna hate, but it's gonna lead you to your right, to your goal, when you divide it into a plan and steps, that part is literally what you're talking about. That's the stuff you have to do that is hard, that is not good for you, or like whatever, you're not seeing the full idea, but it's so beneficial for the common goal. For your example, was just like understanding and awareness and like socializing. And for anybody who's going after their thing, there has to be steps. That's why, and life, devil, negative energy, gonna test you multiple times. What people miss is that the more you fail, the more all these failures going to turn into a huge success if you just kept trying, Like how many people quit after one, twice, third, fourth time? The guy for Starbucks, he went to 278 banks or something like that. So that's a non-quitter. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Because just like once you're determined enough, you enjoy, the pleasure is in the process, not actually at the goal.
right.
And enjoy what you're doing, trying to provide value and find that value and to translate it into something that is actually financially and sound for you and your future and like your hopes and dreams. From there, it's just you have to do the steps. The parts that you're dreading, the school, is the steps that you have to sit by yourself and you have to do this. If I wanted to work out, I still have to hate to go to work out, but I would do it because my end goal was to lose weight or something,
Yeah.
And it's just like, if I want to do this brand, if I want to build, like, what is the steps? Whatever, marketing, posting, it's all part of like something that we're not familiar with, something that is foreign, but we know that these steps that we hate, that we have to perfect, it will be like part of that will lead to our success in the field that we love. So it's just,
Yeah.
you never reach what you want without the work. That's pretty much what you're saying.
For sure. Yeah. I think my hatred for school and my like distaste for being a beginner at something, which was kind of like what you're saying, like when you have to force yourself through like the beginning stages of something, those were almost separate because like, although because I hated them equally, I hated being like a beginner at something. I hated like learning the initial steps. I wanted to be like, if it was a sport, I wanted to just like do it, be good right away. I'd be so disappointed if I wasn't, or if like, but I think like what I didn't like about school was like, I thought it was a waste of time. Like not the concept of learning, like, if I could tell you like this hour of the day, this 20-minute of this class, this hour and a half segment, these were valuable. I tell you, I admit those were valuable. I learned some good shit there. The other, 4 hours of the day, whatever, it was a complete waste of time. Yeah. And even as like a 14-year-old, I'm like, listen, I'm not saying I know how to run this school, but my day is being wasted.
They needed you to be like obedient, pretty much. That's the major thing at school. Even when kids like are not obedient or have like hyperactive or like they're not, they just put them on like amphetamine, speed, Adderall and all that stuff. So how does that help? How does that teach that kid that he's supposed to think for themselves for the rest of their life? If all the stuff that he's been told his whole life, which I was an example of, and that's something I speak from personal experience, was that I just followed what every human being was doing, not recognizing that none of it was my choice. I was doing what I'm supposed to do, and I never liked what I'm supposed to do. I never even asked myself that question, So like, and this was turmoil for me, and I know, and I can relate to a lot of people that when you wake up later, when you have more responsibilities, like you have a family, it's very, very tough and minute, the ability for you to be able to do that jump. But that jump is really the mission, the purpose of you living here. Like we're all asking, what's the purpose of life? Of course, because we're all doing the same thing, But what is your special, unique talent? What are you good at? And that takes a longer deep dive. And the whole idea of like the culture we're living in right now, it's all dopamine rush and dopamine hit after one after the other. And at the end of the day, you're gonna see people is like more concerned about that dopamine. They don't know that there is much more pleasure in just like meditation, connected to the source or God or the collective. It is beautiful, but who have the patience for that?
No, we've totally fucked up the entire experience of life. Like, we're trying to like fix ourselves because we've lost. I think the men have like lost purpose. You know.
Yeah.
Like our DNA, the way that we're built, from my understanding, is that like men need purpose to be happy or to be fulfilled. I should say. You know, happiness is like a bonus. You know, but like nowadays, like. The only purpose you can really generate is to raise your own family, you know, which I'm not downplaying that. That is a like it is a purpose, you know, but beyond that, like, you know, you don't have to like provide for your village. You don't, you know, there's no like protective means that you really have to like, I mean, you know, if you're in the military, sure, whatever. And that's, and they have purpose and that's why they enjoy that, you know, but like, I just think that, I mean, you know, you just look around where everybody's just kind of like, staying comfortable and just kind of making money and doing their hobbies, and you know, like they don't have purpose, you know, like, and so we're getting anxious and getting all weird about what this experience is now, you know. So I don't know. I think if I had to just come up with a fix for that, it's like we do need to start going backwards. I know that's probably like sounds ridiculous,
as a human being,
I think all these layers that we've added to society of like shininess and convenience being number one, I think it's ruining us. I mean, I really do.
100%.
You know?
100%. If all you got to do is just be able to communicate through the masses without any effort, without anything, just because you did something, you know, stupid or a prank or some stuff, and now you're viral, everybody knows you, and you're making money that way. It's strange. You know?
Well, I don't know anybody that's making money off of going viral, but I know a lot of people
Most
that
of people are sad for going
watching
viral.
That happen, you know, like, and that, I think that's another layer of drugs that's been plastered on, you know, like this whole, like watching people blow up, you know, for no reason. It's like a drug to think like, well, maybe I could just do the nothing and blow up, you know?
And the whole idea is still the nothing, so you'll never find your purpose.
Back to the value thing like we were talking about. Like, it's hard to do to create value.
You have to go through corners and corners of like who you are, and like go that deep dive and that dark places by yourself, and able to face and admit and still love yourself after all that fucked up shit that happened to you, or like whatever part you played, or certain awareness or understanding or naivete, or not even thinking some people can be that evil, you know. Just I even was talking to my dad about that like a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, yeah man, at that age I'm still don't believe some people are that bad. It's like I still still get hooked by it. It's like they still can't play me, I guess, because I'm never thinking someone should just want to hurt you for no reason.
Well,
but that's a fact.
We've always known that, you know, but like that's one thing the internet has shown us. Like it's made the world a lot smaller and shown us a lot of the evil, you know, like that. I think growing up, that's one of the hardest pills to swallow, is when you start to realize all the layers of how sheltered you were. You know, maybe me more than you.
No, I think I'm at the same point too.
You know, but just being like, you know, you grow up, like, I think any set of parents, like, they want their kid to feel as safe and as carefree as possible. You know?
That's where they thrive.
You don't want, I think, because that's like a gift, you know. I see how a parent sees that as a gift. And I'm not saying they should like scare the kid to death growing up, but at the same time, like, I realized like I was pretty naive about like the world. You know, I thought everybody was pretty much, I guess you could say that. I mean, most people are good, you know?
Yeah. Which is? Most
people are good, but there are a lot of people out there.
Yeah, it's true. It's also true. Yeah.
That are just
out there for like no reason, dude. They just want to destroy you. they're like jealous for you to be an intact human being. They're like insane ways and things you never thought somebody would wish you harm for.
Dude.
And it's like it's not that it's cold for it. That's the huge part. It's like it's cold for it. It's like it's
Sure.
easy. You're expecting it. You know how
Sure,
to
yeah.
deal with it. You're already in that mentality. It's
Right.
like fight or flight. But when somebody that they only give kindness and they reward that with like the most malicious and vicious ways to attack you and your psyche and stuff like that, what is the point of that? You know?
Dude,
What do you gain?
there's probably like way more significant examples of this, but like, speaking of the internet showing us evil, it's like, dude, like this like knockout game that you've seen.
Which one? The one they'd slap each other?
Well, no, that like kids will just walk up behind a random person and sucker punch them and knock them out.
What?
And they call this the knockout game. And then, of course, they always pick like some old person,
What?
Yeah. Oh, dude, this is like a whole thing. It's like a trend. It's like a TikTok trend type thing where it's like
Right now?
yeah. I mean, like today, I think I could say it's cooling down a little bit, but it's like, dude, I mean, that just like.
So how does it go? Like a kid would go and like sucker punch an old dude?
Yeah, pull it up because then like we'll see like how much of a thing this is. But like, oops,
And
dude, but it's almost like it's one thing to like we were talking about like individual or like individuals being evil and that being prevalent or whatever. But like this is almost like the lack of
awareness.
whatever's happening.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, looks horrible.
Newest trend. Yeah. But like, they talk about the fathers not being in the house. Like this is the result of like a generation of this where like this can become a trend. Like back in the day, you'd have like one kid in your school that was like kind of bad. And he would like rob people and he ended up going to jail. It was like really weird. He was like, damn, that kid's weird. Now it's like groups like that are thinking that ideas like this are like, yeah, we'll get carried away and just go do this. It's like, dude, like they don't understand how this is like.
They don't understand repercussions, because they've been so isolated and everything to them is like either vanity or like no purpose or meaning. So they don't even know what is life. They think it's like an avatar.
Because they laugh. They think it's funny.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
lack
like
of awareness. Yeah. What does that mean? To you, what does this mean to harm other human being? What is not understanding that you're part of that human being? What is not understanding your purpose is always to not also be kind and give love. It's just I like to use love because we all love ourselves, right? Or at least.
Well, no, I mean, that's the problem, right? These people don't love themselves.
That exactly, because if you love yourself, you would, and you're full of love to yourself, you express nothing but love to other people.
I mean, I admit that these kids are probably like, well, when I say admit, I was gonna say it's probably not completely their fault in a sense. They come from shit homes, no example, if not worse. They're probably beat, no role
models, 100%.
But the fact that there's so many of them that they're actually grouping together and creating trends that promote their like psychopath. Wait, what's the word? Like
psychosis kind of mentality.
Psychosis, yeah, that worked. I mean, it's not good, dude. It's not good.
It's sad to see, like, especially young men being targeted into doing something stupid like that. And it's just all kids, right? It's guys and girls and everybody who's in high school, right?
Yeah.
Gonna see if there's a bias as well. I know it's just this OBS is taking too much of the laptop. The laptop is pretty much frying right now.
Can you use your phone? Oh.
Oh.
It's sickening, dude. Like it's not. It's hard enough to see like a pro fighter go out cold.
Yeah.
But when you see a normal person who's just trying to go home from work and like it's not even the punch is one thing. It's hitting the ground is like really the dangerous part.
Yeah, that's when you have like concussion and actually internal bleeding in your brain.
Knock the teeth out and stuff. It's just like. I mean, I'm not trying to. Sorry, like harp on this. Just like it's not. It's not good, dude.
Yeah, what is the purpose of it? I don't understand. It's like,
It's young kids that have no purpose, no character, with too much energy and not knowing what to do with it, and it's
yeah.
negative energy.
Thank you.
And anger and physical anger is the lowest common
Vibration, yeah.
Yeah, sadness, confusion, it all just
And then start,
accumulates
like,
into
hate,
anger.
Yeah,
you know?
hate, resentful, depression, then anger
It just
and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and it turns into this.
Wow, it's across the whole country. This is like a phenomenon now. People doing it in like the subways too. Oh my god. Posted online too. Oh my god.
Dude, did you see
Yeah.
today? Not like reduce the calories, not like clean up the calories, not like go outside and run around. Take medication. That's the
Yeah, but that has always been the answer, bro. But like, oh, your child is thinking for themselves.
but it's not always been this. Like, it is getting really, really bad.
I know.
Like, it has not always been like this though.
I know. Why do you think I said like, dude, people are going through hell, and if I can make it out of there, I will make sure that nobody goes there without understanding these. For whoever forever like tries to find it, at least will find these concepts that may put me in peace and made me understand who I am and like the point of life and existence.
But that's where we're on the same page, right?
Mhm.
That's where you and I that's what we're all about.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear you that you want to like spread the good word and make sure that people like soak up that as much as possible so that they can have the good life. But what I'm hung up on nowadays is that like this mass psychosis that's happening is above all of this, because you have these people they've been getting trained for this.
Oh yeah.
They've been getting trained for this. So if like, I'm sorry to generalize, but if you're like an overweight couple with an overweight kid, and you've been getting kind of scared about the news because it was real that if you were overweight with COVID, then like vaccines probably were maybe worth the risk, that was at least part of a conversation, but like all like The View and Oprah and the news and all the news that they're going to, all the headlines about being overweight that they're going to hear are going to be about a diabetes medicine, this like all these like, or the new diet, or the new low diet snacks or whatever. All these fads. It's going to be everything other than the basics: workout, calorie restriction.
But is the basics deeper than that though? The basics is just cut sugar.
Well, okay, not really. I mean, it's move around. It's calorie restriction. Sure, I'm not disagreeing that sugar isn't like number one. Like if you had to break it down, like you just could not give up an even number of calories across the board. You had to pick categories. Sure, I would say take sugars out first, and you'd be best. Like I agree with you, but like I'm just backing up. Just say like these people are like slowly getting like led to the fact they go, it's just a medicine now. They go, exactly, I knew it, and like.
I understand your point now. Yes.
Yeah. So like
they kind of already have that lack of awareness about how the body and like how you're supposed to do. But you look bad. You're fat. You need to work out. Everybody's like, oh.
No, now it's you look good. You look good and healthy. It's like it's mixed messaging. Society is now trying to tell everybody like you can be fat. Like the fat swimsuit models and stuff. It's like they're trying to like normalize the big bodies and stuff. And it's like. Look, no one wants these people to feel worse about themselves. No one wants that.
That's never the issue.
Right. But the answer is not to just like learn how to brainwash yourself into, you should love yourself at any size, but you should love yourself enough to put your body in the proper size and make the sacrifices,
That's it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just where was I going with the?
Was which one?
Well, whatever. Yeah,
the kids.
Just that in general, this mass psychosis society is like, so these people are basically, they don't realize it, but they are being trained to be the soldiers of the enemy that they need to fight. So like this entire, like, so that's why I'm obsessed with like getting people to respect truth more, you know, like, because this is like the big question. If you like,
Yeah.
half these people that are fighting, like the world is divided right now, right? The right and the left. We'll go really general, just right and left, you know.
Correct. Yeah.
Dude, the people on the left, like I'd say like the majority of them don't even know what their side is pushing. But because liberals like label their party with like good things, you know, people I think, well, I want those good things, so I want to support liberals. They support liberals, but it has nothing to do with what they're actually doing.
They bunched it up in like a whole bag, and it's like, oh, if you don't like eating praying mantis or insects, you're racist. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
How is these two even close to, like, it's just insanity.
But yeah,
It's insane. Yeah, they try to.
I'm trying to clean up my point, but basically, like, we're trying to promote like the good life, right? We know it works, like the simple, natural life, right? And the other side of this are people like overweight moms that are trying to argue with us that we're wrong. When it's like, no, of all people, you need to be on our side. Like, I'm doing a terrible job
for your, I understand, yes, yeah. But again, it's for them like a hanger, like an excuse for them to be, oh, it's not my problem, I have a disease or something.
Exactly.
It's
a drug. It's like a drug.
But for the majority, it's not. You know, it's pretty much you're eating too much and you're eating before bed and you're not working out. It's just like pretty simple.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like there's no way around it. Most people like would think that they were in there like any limitation is just pretty much one of those three things, you know, eating before bed or eating too much and not working out.
Right. But you try and tell one of these parents that now, like, or, you know, one that was just told by the government that their kid needs medicine, right? You try and tell this to one of those parents, they are the ones that are going to battle you about it. They're going to tell you, no, these are outdated ideas, you know, working out. You don't need to be in shape, you know? It's like, it's all so confused for them. Like,
I think the idea that they're not want to listen to any other view is that the concept of reality for them is the government has always kept me safe, has always did something good for me, has always like, I don't want to end up like criminals or people who like get canceled or arrested or like they can't deal with banks and lose respect of the community, like get burned pretty much, you know, which is you know, and then from there is like my concept of the reality would shatter if I actually believe what you said. So they're not even comfortable like, entertaining that idea because it's like, no, I'm right because like the news say I'm right, everybody around me say I'm right, the politicians say I'm right, the whole society say I'm right, the cops say I'm right. It's like,
and you're the crazy friend who's trying to say that like it's all a conspiracy and like.
Well, and nobody's saying conspiracy. It's just like think for yourself. But that's the whole thing that disappeared. People cannot think for themselves anymore.
100%. Yeah.
People are just like, you know, go to someone with whatever position or authority, and there's like, you know what? I don't know, like, and even these people are not good examples. So it's just, for me, like, as an outsider, but I understand if you're like, when I was told what I'm supposed to do, any of that bullshit to me 4 or 5 years ago would have been like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Just be happy, man. You get like, and especially if you have a good job and like whatever, and it's just like making money. So you start to think that is the life you wanted, and then end up like later older, like what is my purpose and shit like that, you know, because you never really thought for yourself. You're just,
but that's the part that I really trip out on, because
it's their own thing.
You think you are thinking for yourself though, because we were all blue pilled before you're red pilled. It's like you're just born blue pilled. You're a child
in the system. 100%.
You're sheltered by your parents, you know, they keep all the evils out, and and it's all just, it's blue pilled as fuck. But never, and you kind of have this like 2D vision of of the outside
Of the
world,
world,
where you're like,
100%.
yeah, there's wars and stuff, and
But it's outside
it's just, it's
here.
like way out there,
Yeah,
you know?
bro. I don't know how they kept them like unaware to know where other countries are from. It's just like, dude, this is weird.
But it's blissful for them. It's blissful because I think that, like, I'm trying to, now that I'm so pilled, I'm trying
It's not
to
good for
obviously
the
like
world too.
wake
Yeah.
people up,
Yeah.
and the way to do that in my mind is like go to where they, like,
They're at
think
that.
how they're thinking,
Yes, 100%.
you know, and then
That's
and
the
then
correct
try
way.
and guide that with that frame of mind, guide them to the truth, you know, where it starts to like just open up the pathway, you know. And I'm like, it's almost like trying to remember a dream when you're waking up, you know. It's like I almost can't remember. It's like I remember being way back blue pilled like a child, and then now, but like this transition is getting really foggy where it's like, you know, like I'm like, for example, like my sister, I love her to death. She's super smart, and this is, of all people, the reason why I'm using her as an example is because she's like the biggest, like, I just can't get my head wrapped around it. You know, she's so smart, but she's extremely sheltered. She knows this. Like, she's isolated. She lives like a very quiet, like, life to herself. And she basically has no desire whatsoever
To hear the other
to
part.
red pill herself.
Yeah.
She like, and I'm okay. So I'm like, okay, so try and put myself in her shoes. And that's where it's like, it's trying to think that is like trying to remember a dream where it's just like, I can't quite get it. Like, I don't understand it because it's like,
Yeah, I can understand what you're coming from exactly, but I'll
because
tell you.
the pushback is like, why would I, like, my life is good. Like, I have a good life. I enjoy my life. Why would I voluntarily like expose myself to like these terrible truths, these terrible evils of the world, just so that I can know that there's all these problems in the world that I can't fix, just so I like stress out about them and worry about my life? Why would I do that? Like, I think that's what they think.
Probably, and it's actually a legitimate thing if you thought, but
Sure, yeah.
but because if you thought there is no way out from where you're at into actually shifting, understanding, and a peace where you would learn all of that. So the point is to be aware is not really to do anything. You just have to be aware, and then from there you understand that nobody actually tried to promote you as a person in your life more than you, and you know what you want to do more than anybody else. So what I've been doing your whole life is doing what everybody else wanted you to do. You know, go get a job, go get a, like, what is it? What do you like? What are you passionate about? What's something you can excel at? You know, I just know I gotta find something to like exactly where I was, bro. And that's why, like, I think the intensity has came to a point where it's not only me. There's thousands of millions of people walking every day to a dead end job that doesn't even pay that much, that they have to do some other shit on the side to just be able to keep bills.
Yeah.
And they can't even think outside of that, because the more you're hungry, the more you're going to think about the animal part, the more you're going to think about like worrying about like, oh my God, I cannot feed myself and stuff like that, instead of reaching what's supposed to be the dark night of the soul, which under that much intense and stress that you're going through, you're supposed to come out of it is like, what is the reason for that? That's a normal question. But you have to really go deep dive into your psyche and into meet yourself, who you are without any of the layers around you, you know. What is it, you know? And that's what happens, bro. People get layered into like the society and the expectations and the people around them, and then they get comfortable into a way to which they think they're expressing themselves, but in general they're like trying to talk in a way that looks impressive and funny and charming, and like try to display their best, you know, intellectual character, and like, you know, it's beautiful.
It's like dance around on this layer of their personality that's up here. It's not the real like important stuff, but they put so much sauce on that layer of their personality.
Like how you dress, what do you do, what job you had, and all that good stuff. And then at the end of the day, you didn't want that job. You didn't care about like, your partner doesn't even understand why you're with them. Like there's just so many things that can go wrong for someone who's so deep into that, and that's why it's like it's interesting to understand that, okay, this is what's going on in the world. This is my part as aware human being in this experience, to see that and to witness that. And my plan of action would be always to spread love, because fighting and violence against like the people with the most authority and money is a hopeless. So
But
yeah.
how is it less hopeless than just rolling over and taking it?
No, I'm
Because
not saying
don't
taking
you
the
think that
side.
like, and this is one of the like the realities that like
I'm
I
not. I
almost
didn't say take it though. But go
well
ahead.
well what's the alternative to fighting?
No, there's no fighting. You're gonna try to spread the awareness of love through your lifetime, through the people around you, through the group, trying to thrive into different ideas and intellectual beings, which are gonna come around you when you ask for that. And then these people gonna come around where you can actually be able to create a group which, and have the same frequency and same energy, and would want to make more good people actually independent and actually providing some value and different collective and creative ideas to benefit the whole collective. And it's obvious, it's just there's no way around it other than empowering yourself first, and then from there you can just
So you're saying that if you're trying to make change in the world, the only way to do it is
spread
not
love.
to battle what you're against, but is just to grow what you're for.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because because there's no other way of resistance that really works except love. We have like a high vibration now in the planet, is that anybody who's thinking about this animalistic dopamine, lust, revenge, anger, hate, all these lowered frequency stuff is not gonna vibe or survive in the time being, other than the people who's like more aware and like more heightened into understanding that, okay, so whatever is going on around me right now, I'm not really in any physical danger or threat of my life like it was before, because these systems are supposed to work when you're in danger, when we're like trying to survive a lion or something,
Yeah.
but right now, because there's no real physical danger, so where the system goes from stuff you're worried about in the future, or like whatever people said that does make you feel bad, or whatever your mother-in-law think about you, it just, you didn't understand that you're that being, you're that energy, you're that soul that is in that body. You're not that thing. This is just your avatar. And the more people start to offend that avatar, the more you should not take it personally, because it's not you. They're offending that avatar of you. So process and respond. Do not be in that reactive mind where if somebody said something without even thinking about it, you're going to reply whatever. But process why they're saying that. It can be someone call of help, just cussing you.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God. And you never know. You have to be super kind to people. People are so disdained from the practice of like, oh, if you practice being love and respectful and like kind, is like you're weak.
You're a sucker.
Yeah, it's like, yes, I am. Yeah, yes, I am. Because honestly, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
For real. And that's really what comes like to the part where you're having that confidence. Like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, that's kind of a leap into, that's a leap to respond to it like that, But
no, but it's
I
just
hear
like,
you.
but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what they think or say about you, because at the end of the day, that's their own ego, which is the devil, their own avatars, their talks about you as a being. You shouldn't be confused about that.
Well, my first response would be like, okay, well, what's better? Show me the way,
For
If if you're trying to show love and they don't think that's the way, it's like, okay, well then what's better,
what's better than love?
If they're suggesting it.
Yeah, nothing else. Nothing else, unfortunately. You have to love yourself first to understand that, and that's, I think, a huge leap also, which it's something that is very dangerous, that a lot of people don't actually love themselves, which is insane. I would never guessed, bro, that we've been a time where people don't really love themselves, so they go about the ideas and the perception and like this non-ending, scroll in their phones, and like they're always looking down about like what he did, what she said, where did they camp at the, where did they ski, what resort in Tahoe they're in that year, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What about you, bro? What about you? What do you do? What do you do to make you happy? How are you by yourself? Oh, I can't stand being by myself. I'm so lonely. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna hit up this whatever, and like, and then you start to why are you trying to always create noise and not be able to sit by yourself? What are you afraid of? Because what everybody's afraid of when we're not doing the true potential is like we feel like, oh my God, I'm so fucked up, I'm way off, and it's like way off from what?
Yeah, exactly.
It's right
your
there. Let's see how
Yeah.
it is. It's way off from what? What really makes you happy? What really think that is like you're like every day you're gonna be like into that, and that will be like the dream of your life. What is it? But that's the deep question nobody want to ask, or like at least the common. And that's why there's a higher frequency. So the people who understand that and who treat people with that way always give love and kindness, who always like would, take the higher route, like if you want to explain it. But it's not really higher, just like you're literally like offending what? I'm in that body was like, okay, it's set. That body is like able to defend itself in that realm. Then other than that, all you can do is like talk shit. It's like, dude, please join the line. Honestly, though. But it's just like, because there's no other concept of it, though. There's no other way to understand it where it's going to make peace to yourself. And one of my buddies was amazing when he told me, like, one guy cut us off. I think I told you that story. And he was like, dude, what if this dude, like, his mother died and he was like trying to rush to the hospital to see her or some shit like that? What if like his wife passed away giving a kid? Or what if like he was running for a disaster? And it was like, damn, like I never like thought to think about like what people might be through. And it's like, but why would I give a fuck? I also asked him this because again, I was stupid. And he was like, well, that's not really for them. It's for you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, odds are the guy probably is a douchebag, but it's a better experience for you to 100%. Just think, hey man, I hope that guy, he's probably left the toast or the oven on. I hope his house is okay. It's like, because then, then it's like, it all just makes sense in a good way. Like everybody's just, he's looking after his house. You're looking after him. Like it feels good. It's better. It is. He's probably a douche. He's probably just 100%. Being it. But it's like, what's the point? Like your feet. Dude. Like I said the other night. Like I am super sensitive to energies. And.
But that's actually a very good sign. It means like the more you're aware, the more you're like very sensitive to negative energies.
Well, I think it's like one of those. There's always trade-offs, Like sure it can be nice and everything. Otherwise, it can be a real pain in the ass because you can't always control the energy that's coming at you, But my point here was that like you're feeding yourself bad energy. You know what I'm saying? By criticizing the guy and like putting the bad story out there, like that's bad energy, and you're creating it, and like, so it's just a trip that like,
it's interesting to know that people also, or mostly like we got into this by our own fault, and just trying to explain this to some people is like, it's still your own choice. After all of this, doesn't matter what we said, doesn't matter what resonated or like didn't resonate with you. This is still gonna be, you have to either, walk that walk and take that deep dip into like what the heck is going on, and start to sit down and trying to figure out months, days, years, for that, like what is really developed this burning desire. What do you really want to do, And from there, man, start building on it and That's the part you said you dreaded like the school. That's the hard steps. That's the part actually is the most enjoyable part is like the journey itself. Because
Well, yeah.
when you make money or whatever the purpose is, or like when you get your message, the end of the day is just like, oh, I got the money. It's like, no, you're remembering these fucking first couple of podcasts, how
Yeah.
Brian came and how we'd smoke, and
Mhm.
we've been so scared to post like whatever we think about it, but we're not really against like anybody or any government or any entity. It's just like there's a better way for things to be done that people, I think for me, before you go against anybody, just know who the fuck you are first, you know? That's just has to be like number one, Brian, because we can't go at level 10, you know, and
Yeah.
idealizing everybody think they're all aware. They're not aware. So the whole idea is just make people aware, because whatever we're going through, it is just so fucking strong, and there's no way for anybody life not to get destroyed and be in shambles if they try to go against it. And they've made good examples. So it's like, yes, we're scared, unfortunately, but it doesn't mean that whatever bad people gonna do bad shit. It's like it's just a fact, right? But there's always good people, and good people doesn't mean like you riot or made stupid bullshit. No, good people are just trying to tell people how to love themselves first, and that
Yeah.
is literally my message. I don't care, man. Just love your fucking self, and once you love yourself, you have nothing to give but love.
Yeah. That's
Any,
true, man.
Anybody with different looks, different accents, different creed, you don't look at people this way anymore. You always look at people as like, like anybody comes around me now as like, yes, of course, I told you because of my aura, and it's like I push them away. But I'm like, I have this love to like, oh, it's just like a part of me. It's like another human being having his life, it's just,
Sure,
it's
yeah.
amazing to come into like very close, contact with, or like see them, or just like it's part of like everything we all do, and it's all beautiful. They're just absorbing, and this whole blissful experience that we're having, and not trying to find love in like, if love is just like this hot girl or a hot chick, that I wanted so much, and if I got it, it's good. So like you slivered the amount of love you can have to just the littlest thing that's never gonna happen. And
Right.
what's the rest of the time you experience love? Nowhere. Only when you see that, like that one that you're like obsessed about. It's like, no, dude, love
Yeah.
is everything.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah. Why not widen your scope
yeah,
to see it so that like it fills your whole day and not just these moments on vacations and or date nights or whatever, Yeah. Totally.
It's a whole experience. You gotta love it. You chose this. You're here for. It's like everything that happens to you, the bad before the good. The bad's supposed to teach you a lesson. It's like God, like no, this is not your way. Like you're supposed to learn something. And of course, we all can relate. If you didn't learn a lesson, it keep repeating itself, right? We all can agree on that as like from fucked up shit we did in our lives, and how like
For sure.
yeah. So it's just like. It's that who's making you know that like, oh, that's not the way it works, by different people with a different lesson until you fucking dumbass get it. I'm talking about myself, but in general, it's just like it's still me. It's still me that I didn't wanted to go deeper, and the more I took away being deeper until I have no choice but to get deeper because I had nowhere else to go. It was like, this is insane. I tried everything in my power to do this shit, to go to school, to try to be like model citizen, and I've been like broke my whole life to the point that it just doesn't fucking make sense.
It kind of does, though. I mean, unfortunately, like I know it's not like consoling, but unfortunately it doesn't make sense, like there's been this big shift in our lifetime where, like, in our parents' generation, there really was like this kind of it was like a common suggestion that worked out. Get good grades, work at the grocery store to have side money so that you can like get a car.
That's actually a good model, though.
It worked. It worked for everybody. You did your side job at the grocery store. You got your car. Then you went to college. With that degree, you got a job that was enough to raise a family. Your wife could stay at home. You guys could afford a mortgage. And you work for 20 years. You could even buy a vacation home. That turns into a retirement and, setting up your kids. Like that worked.
Yeah.
And so that was basically it was still the advice that like our parents' generation would have given you. Go to college, become a pharmacist. Like these are, you know, not so long ago, this is a good plan, you know, but what happened is the world has been changing so much.
Yeah.
In like I mean, I don't know how to like how far or how deep or whatever to go, but like basically like you know, there are these influences like globalization is kind of changing the landscape of affordability and what people, they're trying to tell you what to desire and all these things, and there's all these changes going on, and it's like it's feeding the colleges to like ramp up their programs, and they're charging more money because they're getting subsidized, and so this whole thing is getting out of control, right? And in the last 20-30 years now, all of a sudden the educations are so pricey that the jobs aren't paying them off, you know, or the wages are like it's all shifting, you know. And so long story, you know, to circle back around, it does make sense that like you did everything right and it didn't pay off, because that is like what's happening to everybody right now. Everybody's like, I went to fucking college, I got the good grades, I got the good job, I can't afford a home, let alone raise a family. My wife has to work just so we can pay rent. It's like everybody's like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, we've been scammed.
What?
We've been scammed by the metrics.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is.
Yeah, but also this is for a good reason too. Like, so the vibration that's getting higher, so a lot of more people are gonna be understanding and connecting to what we're saying than we expected, and that's normal now. Like everything that speak about awareness is blowing up than any other thing, because that's what people wanted, supply and demand.
But it's so weird what like does and does not get people's attention.
But that's what I'm trying to get to you, is that the more people are in the position to actually ascend and be in heightened awareness, they're pulling them down into the lower frequencies.
Oh, I know.
And trying to distract
all day
them.
long.
So we're supposed to look up, and they want us to keep looking down at our phones and our like little dopamine hits and like whatever, you know. And he made a rap video in his home and like his bedroom and shit like that. Anyway, so there is a lot of like, but also, Brian, the worst things, bro, is just when this develops into habit. When you have like a habit of looking on your phone, on your apps, on like what the heck is going on, for like at least every couple of hours every day. You know, this is bro, this is a lot of people though.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. And it's really tricky because it's normal life. It is. I mean, toddlers have iPads, you know. As soon as they start piping up, they just get fed the iPad, you know. And we're just like big toddlers with our phones, you know. I use my phone a lot all day. Like I'm not denying that, but like I do try really hard.
I understand, yeah.
To I mean, if I catch myself, because like if I just take a step back, like I can tell you I don't care to scroll. I don't, like, some people love it. Like they'll tell you that they do. They like to see what's going on. They like to interact. They like to like and comment, and that you know, they like scrolling. It's entertaining. I don't like it, right? But I will find myself fucking scrolling every now and again, you know, and like I usually will catch myself pretty quickly. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go. And when I say, use my phone, like I'll go to YouTube and listen to like a 2-hour lecture about
that's pretty much
critical race theory or something, you know? But even still, the fucking apps are trying to get us away from that, because now, like, as I'm trying to go through my feed, which if it was like true to my watching, it would be a like long form interviews, they would be suggesting to me, right? But now they suggest YouTube shorts. You know, everybody's trying to do the shorts and the stories and the reels.
60 to 90 second kind of thing.
Yeah. Dude, they don't want it. They don't want us
they don't want you to elevate,
thinking and like listening and like, you know. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is like I feel like I'm very conscious of my phone, and I really try and put it to use, and like I'm like learning something all day on it. But even still, I'm like I catch myself scrolling. And so if you're not like really on it, you just do that all day, you know?
Yeah. And that's the idea, is that like once they're on it, then they're getting the feed of like literally brain programming of like what are you supposed to think, how are you supposed to react, what wild shit happens, what is viral, what is normal to society, which
Yeah,
is
all that.
completely different than in real life. It just, and
100%.
yeah, it just they bring up this like brainwashed, like characterless, stupid idea, the young generation that is really doesn't stand for anything, and like it doesn't even show any uh, yeah, like they don't show purpose, like I don't
No,
know.
it just teaches you how to
Yeah,
consume and follow. And
yeah.
then while it's doing that, simultaneously, you are not thinking about what's next for you. You're not thinking
100%. You're
about like
overthinking. Yeah.
yeah, like what do I need to do today or right now to better a goal, or
Mm-hmm.
what goal do I need to create?
Mm-hmm.
Like all these, the time is just taken up. It's like it just replaces that.
Correct. Yeah.
It's like, and like you said, it's not even just that you're missing that time of thinking about your goals. That time is not just wasted, but it's being used to program you to do something else,
Mm-hmm.
to like certain things. It's just like, it's so creepy, dude.
So you see why people are scared, because like their whole reality shatters, and not everybody psychologically is set for that, Brian. Though, that's why I always gotta like express love to all, and that will resonate with everybody.
I
Being
gotta get
nice.
better about that. I gotta be honest, because dude,
I know it's your sister,
COVID
but it
really
just,
fucked me up,
I know.
because I like
You woke up
I
too.
did not
Mm-hmm.
want to be the guy, or like in the group that was like rocking the boat, and
Mm-hmm.
like, like it's not like I'm a little confrontational, but like not really. Like I can keep to myself about this
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but
But so you understand that like the world we live in is crooked and corrupt, and like hooray, everybody knows that to a certain level though,
well, okay.
but they don't know how deep it is,
No,
right?
certainly.
Okay, they don't know literally everything we eat and drink is cancerous and poisonous, and I'm not saying like it have traces of
No,
carcinogenic
it's
or
like shit.
plastics. It's like, exactly, it's not
And the media is more false than not, or like it's more of a mind control than it is
but that's a
information.
trick, because also everybody knows that is true.
But
So you
but
see what I'm talking
but
about?
but and this is like, I've had this conversation over and over
Mm-hmm.
and over for the last 3-4 years or whatever years.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to get somebody to just agree with you on a super general, like, does the media lie? Okay.
But that's what I'm
That's
saying.
super easy for anybody in any
Yeah.
situation to be like, sure, yeah, I agree with you. But then when you go, okay, where is the line? Like, what are they lying about and what are they not?
Here we
And
go.
you start pointing out all these things. They go, no, 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 no. Okay, relax. Like, they're not. It's not all a lie. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, it's actually more a lie than it isn't. That's my. I mean, that's the truth.
It is.
But
Yeah.
they will not make that leap.
It's okay.
And in my mind, like, this is like a little bit more on the edge of. I'm a little over opinion. I don't know, maybe over opinionated about the medical industry, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're approaching, if not past the line of where the medical industry is like 51% liars and a negative influence. Now, I'm not trying to discount the miracles that they are creating in
Mm-hmm.
modern medicine, in cancer and obviously emergency, trauma. Like, I do not mean to disrespect, and nurses, and like there's many layers to the medical industry
Mm-hmm.
that I would call 49%, but it's a very respectable, solid 49%.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I think that 51% is like, grifters and, con ideas and
Well, I think you're speaking about like big
I
pharma, pretty much,
yeah,
which
but
is people that have most of the money, so they have most of the affluence in the medical industry, and that's why there is a drug, 20 drugs for each kind of condition, and there is no enough conditions, there is not enough drugs. They're both like, that's their money making, you know.
And how they add disorders to the
yeah,
DSM every year, and the whole process
the
is a
American
joke.
farmhouse. Just create millions of people, give them sugar, and then put everything they eat with toxins, plastic stuff, you know, lower testosterone and sperm count, in every bottle of water we eat, and that's a choice better than just drinking the tap water, which also filled with a lot more shit, you know, fluoride and stupid shit like that. So it's, even when you try to do it as a lower basis, you're still getting affected by like these toxins that's just gonna lead to this disease, the cancer, because your body's not supposed to be under that intense and weird stuff that it's supposed to be on. And like there's so many different kinds of sugars and snacks and stuff, and it's all come back to fructose syrup, which is sad because, bro, fructose goes into urea, which is pretty much crystallizes in your joints. But yeah, definitely sooner enough you're gonna have, if you ate too much high fructose corn syrup, then you're gonna definitely have like some kidney stones. But generally it ruins your joints, you know,
the uric acid.
Yes, because it goes between the joints and just like crystals, like sand. So it's very harsh. And then after that, it ruins your metabolism, you know. It spikes your fucking insulin like no other thing.
It ruins everything, dude.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, so what is it? It's still Big Pharma leading the lead. Putting poison in everything, even chicken, you know, like whatever.
So do you think, like, push back a little bit on that idea, like maybe play a little bit of the devil's advocate, like
Sure.
if you were trying to argue in front of like a bunch of respectable people and you were trying to put out the best statement about the medical industry these days, and what percentage of it is, just call it good versus evil.
Okay, so that started when I was taking like the medical history in America.
But just, if you don't mind, just like right now, what percentage do you think, good and evil, like medical industry, just, it's a very broad, you know, term. Do you think overall the medical industry is like, what percentage is it good and bad? Like good and evil?
Okay, so the medical industry,
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
From pediatrics to big pharma. And I mean...
But big pharma, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Big pharma is like 90%.
Well, first of all, I think that makes my case. If the medical industry had its self-respect, it would put pharma in its place.
But then it's more money for the doctors.
Only serves my point even more. That's my whole point, is it's been corrupted.
Yeah.
The whole, like, unfortunately, this is like a sad reality.
Yeah,
and I mean, talk about a bridge that people don't want to leap or cross. This is a major one.
100%.
People do not, like, it's one thing to try and convince somebody that the government is not, like, you know, looking out for you. But a lot of people would just say, no. Like, look, I know that the medical industry of big pharma, like, there are ways that it could be better, but I can't quite say that it's corrupt, like 51% corrupt, you know? And I feel like it's 51 or maybe worse, but like, do you think?
Look, anybody who goes to anything to do with the medical, that part, which is a doctor doing surgery, but that's somewhat why I think, because my granddad is an OB/GYN, is like, he always called, like, you can only like kind of talk to surgeon as the real doctors. Everything else is just pretty much know everything about everything. You know, like when you finish med school, you're not really specialized in anything.
Right.
So you're just like, have general knowledge. So you can be an ER doctor or something. It's like, okay, so, you know. But speaking about the this part of like, so there is amazing, and this is what I expect from. But then again, everybody who does anything related with health end up having to take these pills, analgesics, anti-inflammatories, you know, some antibiotics, and they are good, you know, but the thing is, it just, anything that you touch in medical gonna always end up in pharma. So pharma is like 100%. So it's more of affluence, you know, and it's just like, okay, we're gonna sit back and tell people not to take their medicine. That's not what we're saying. But how can we have better medicine that doesn't really have the side effects or look in different research that is more holistic and natural, when the people with the most money researching the best shit on the other end that is synthetic, that is supposed to destroy you, but show that treat that symptoms, but destroying different couple of things. You know, so it's just it's like I said, man, we're hopeless. The more greed we have, is unfortunately the state of the world is because of the people in the world. So
that's exactly, and back to these parents that are of fat kids that are going to be the ones arguing against the people trying to actually get their kids healthy. You know, trying to tell them to reduce their calories. That they're going to be like, no, listen to the government. It's been a medicine issue this whole time. It's like, fuck, dude.
That's what
they are doing the arguing for them. It's just like
they just
just like the majority of Americans are arguing for the medical industry because they want to, you know, like maybe they are like a nurse. I know plenty of good, amazing nurses. So they're, you know, they're not going to want to make this leap because they are corrupted by their own goodness. You know, they actually went into this industry to help people, you know, and there's an industry for them to do this. So they think, why would this industry not have the same intentions that I had to help people that are they're helping me help people? What's the deal? You know, it's like, dude, like,
yeah, man, it's orchestrated. It's beautiful. It's just you don't teach doctors like 2 hours after their MD about diet. You know, and they're giving doctor drugs and giving them the benefits and like saying the adverse effect because they legally have to. They didn't used to, which is wild. And then these doctors, what choice do they have? Like, hey, man, if you prescribe this to these people, we're gonna try to make like, you know, give you like a trip or like get you something, or some real good doctors will like buy you a fucking place in Tahoe or some shit. Well, where do you think these doctors have money? It's just from all these fucking pharma bribes and shit.
And insurance scams.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all insurance is a scam.
Yeah. Insurance. Like back to my point. When in 1959 or so, like I don't accurately guys know the real, but it was somewhere around there when the American health industry went from just providing health to profit.
The Rockefeller influence.
To profit. So once there is profit in treating someone, poof, you know, what is the most thing that makes money?
I think the Rockefeller connection is that they owned the petroleum, and they had petroleum influence, and once they realized that they could make medicine out of these
I'm not familiar with his story, no.
I'm pretty, like, you should check this out. Okay. It's kind of like the OG conspiracy theory about medicine. It went from trying to heal people, and then right around this time where the Rockefellers, I'll just like shit this out. I'll be totally wrong about it. We can fix it later. But like Rockefellers like had something to do with petroleum, and the petroleum industry like was gonna somehow be like the fuel for all these new medicines. And so once they realized they could make medicine, they just went back to the medical industry and started like creating all these ailments or disorders or diseases, so that they could have these medicines to fix them. And at the same time, they were using their influence and money to, label chiropractors quacks and, kind of push out all the homeopathic and natural, and, they did all that influence was like from this one, shift.
That's actually pretty brilliant. I'll check it out. Yeah, it just whenever there is, and it boils down to greed. So like, you don't really have to be sad about the state of the world or how people are. It just like know that we are the lucky ones at this time to be able to experience love and be able to give it and be able to look at everything from that perspective. And not a lot of people are in the same mind, and not a lot of people want to take that choice to actually be like that. And that's why the vibration is raising. These people would not survive. That is not the future of humanity. People have to be more aware, and it is a very, very dicey times because
I think I feel like I'm sensing a slight bit more optimism out of you than I have. Like I'm an optimist, so at the end of this, I always feel like good wins. So
which is
that's like in my heart. But at the moment, I don't see the path for that. That's why I'm so worried, because it's like, sure, I can totally get on board with that. That like I think love wins, but like right now in the world, like
I know it's not
darkness, like evil, ignorance, like it is it has a massive amount of momentum. Massive. It's all the institutions, it's the universities, all the media, you know, like the elite in the world are now like grouping together to like
Control the
push
world.
like the globalization and climate bullshit. Like, dude, like it's a massive effort right now. And so like, yeah, that's where my whole like,
Yeah, but if you look at it from that angle, of course, nothing gonna look good, you know.
but that's what's happening, you
But-
know, and I'm seeing like, you know, like an encouraging amount of people that are waking up, you know, like there's definitely like, you know, it feels like half the world, you know, is like, what the hell, everybody wake up, like see what's going on. But it's like, you've got all these influences that are pushing and half of society, and of half of those, I still believe that more than half are just blissfully ignorant and don't want to rock their own reality. And so it's like they're not actually backing it, but they blindly are backing it, you know, but not like in their hearts, you know. And then the minority of the other side are they're actually like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them, but they actually want all this shit, you know. They maybe think it's like somehow better, you know. Hopefully, but I don't know. You know, but either way, my point is like it's like I don't want to freak everybody out because that's not going to help. But it's like, yo, we need to like get our shit together. We need more people need to wake up and push back. Period. Like that's been my whole obsession for the last 2 years, and it hasn't changed. Like,
yeah, agreed. But
find your way to push back. I'll leave it at that. You don't all have to like, you know, become a fanatic and
no,
whatever.
but you have to stand up for your rights. You're absolutely right. That's how for your rights, for your like, understand that like whatever the processes or like bills or things has to go, it has to be something that like it is for the better of the American people, which is well, the government is a business in technical terms, but the job of that business is to make safety in the community and in the society, which they did in a way. No, they did.
I mean, that's their mission statement, but I don't think that's the job they're doing. I think like you had it more correct when you called them a business. Just like a corporations, they're legally obligated to make a profit and push profits, you know. And I feel like the government is treating themselves like a huge corporation, where it's like,
and that's the dangerous part. Yes,
just more taxes. They're just like obsessed with creating more money.
Exactly, because more power. But the idea is that that's the part that is most dangerous in any society. Or
you know, like where it's like
the elites, the people with the most
you know
money, the businesses, like but because honestly, every country, how things are good in that country is by how these corporates are doing well in that country, and then they're providing that wealth to the people who's working for them and the community and society and the government. So in order to have a good government, you need to have good businesses already running and doing the best. But the part is like the businesses got too fucking strong that they now have a huge influence on the government, you know, on like lobbying, on like, these motherfuckers been determining like a way to shape and idolize people to be in that rhetoric of like, oh, these gonna be people we use them, and that's how we're gonna run the world, or like whatever the fuck the idea is. But it's all about like these minute people of richest who's like abusing that money and power for profit and like through harm and death and suffering on other people, and that's just nobody's down for that anymore. So you just gotta be experience love.
Yeah. But we need to get more specific, though. I think that's the problem, is that like
we
keep just talking about like corporations evil, da 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 da.
It's like, not evil. It's just practical. It's just
no. We need to tell people exactly like this company is doing this. You know,
and that's actually that's actually the good point. That's actually the very best first step, is to not say like haphazard, you know, ideas,
groups and
no, just like to direct exactly. Oh, this happened, and that's happening that day, and that's the name of that bill, and that's the name of that,
right?
Like, whatever.
Yeah. Or so, even well, we don't know that their intentions are evil.
Yeah.
I mean, like, their intention is to make money, and that this strategy that they have is, from the outside on paper, it's to make money. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if you need to ascribe evilness to their intentions, but the fact is that by them reaching their goals, it is screwing over the country. I think,
But
it's
that's
screwing over the middle class.
That's agreed.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to let go. They don't want to see their wealth go. They don't want to let other people, which is our generation, which has been the one the most fighting, the most to have less statistical men, that is like that generation before us, to not have enough competition. Because once they were spreading that wealth, people were getting too strong and they could not control that. It's like, no, we're just going to own the money and then control the people because we have the power now. So it's pretty interesting way, but the idea that is like you're not against literally a government or a place. You're kind of the thing that can bother you or me the most is just people are not aware. So it's just like, know who you are, man. Just love yourself first. And that's how anything changes. Started by inside out. Not what's happening around you going to give you love, going to make you feel fulfilled, going to make you better. No, bro, it just have to start within.
I don't know. I mean, I hear you, but to be honest, I feel like that was an earlier chapter in my life. Like, I think now I don't get as much reward from just sitting back and like being like, well, I'm good and I'm happy with myself. And so, I like the older I get, the more responsibility I feel like I've had all these like blissful moments under the tree, sipping lemonade, where I'm just like worrying about myself and just, feeling the love and spreading love and, and it's like, there's a time and place for that. And that's always a good starting point, et cetera, but like, man, right now it's just like, and I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to argue against using love, but I'm just like, we're kind of in a battle right now. It's like, it's intense right now. Yeah. Like,
no, I understand what he's
clarification,
saying.
Specification. This is what's going on. This is the plan. This is how to push back. Everything is so vague. We're trying to like, the conversation is so wide. It's just, I feel like trying to be more clear about everything is like really important,
And that's actually a very good part of the message, because they can not only understand that what's going on and just like, now that's like what's going on, so you're aware, you're alive, there is a chance for you to look around and trying to express that like benefit of all and understanding, and then hopefully people in power would not be greedy enough and will deny that temptation that they're going to give anybody who reaches power, that all apparently fail, I don't know, to do the righteous thing and not be able to take bribes. And because if someone just came out of like nowhere and like became a government official and he's not corrupt, they're gonna destroy his ass. It's like So who really can go against that? So it's not like you're going alone. It's just like the whole concept of how we understand and deal with each other first on a base level gonna happen, and then that gonna transfer. Like what made America is because there was so much fucking ambitious people, and like they wanted to create something for themselves. It's like, okay, that's why we have like the best opportunity. So the people at the time made this law that make the Constitution that till this day make this land like in a way invented modern democracy, but at the same time still guided. So the system is not bad. It's just the people.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The people it's the people in the system that is corrupting it. With the responsibility, with powers, with official position that is getting like funding or whatever.
Right.
They want to go against the grain because the grain is too strong. So it's like,
but that's it's all. If I think if humans or Americans or whatever are taking like brutal accountability on the whole thing, it's because we were asleep as the government, as greedy people were sliding into the government, realizing that it was an opportunity. Government is always an opportunity to make money and grow power,
100%.
And we got comfortable living the good life, and we just like let our politicians start growing the government, until now it's like, I mean, it's just a mess,
Yeah, but again, that's like the state of the collective, though. So the collective is bad. We gotta that's actually a harder pill to swallow. That most people right now doesn't have like good energy for each other. That's a fact, because we can see it every day. But I wouldn't say most people. I said like a good amount of people, because really when you go to the street, you don't see that as much. You just see it online or stupid shit. So,
and it's recent. The media has just recently started flaming up all these fires about people not getting along, I mean, Like back in the 90s and
Divide
stuff,
and
like,
conquer, yeah, bro.
dude, violence was like gang fights, you
Mhm.
know, and wars. Like other than that,
Territories and
like
stuff
everybody
like
was
that.
getting
Yeah.
along. By that
Yeah.
point, everybody was like in as far I mean, as far as I could see in the Bay Area, growing up in the Bay Area, like it was a very, very mixed group of everything.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting along,
Mhm.
you know? And then all of a sudden, 20 years later, like, you know, it's just like they're starting to fire up all these like issues between groups and stuff. And it's working. But it's like, dude, that's why I'm saying, like, wake the fuck up. It's not too late to push back on this stupid shit. Like,
divide and conquer, bro. They're gonna make us hate each other. They're gonna make us look at each other different. They're gonna invent different fucking ways and people that is in everyday life. You know, it's supposed to be the good people. You know, the people that work out, toxic masculinity and shit like that. Dude, honestly, they made you. That's what I'm saying. Make that love so tiny, you're like literally do not express love. So what are you gonna do when you're not expressing love? You're expressing hate to everyone. That's why you're hateful to see anybody succeed or do something that is different than you, because you're just your whole momentum is hate. That's what I'm saying, bro.
yeah.
The, the energy, the fucking frustration, the shit we live in, it just people don't love themselves. And some people, like, unfortunately can take their life, and because of that, and the gravity of this is just like, it's so dependent on what time of your life that scenario can happen to you, and you can reach that peak hateness that you don't have any love for you, which is insane. But it's just, okay, I'm not freaking out about it. That's the normal. Things have been shitty. People have been shitty my whole life. They're getting more shitty now, and it's more publicized and easy shareable, and everybody can see a bite size of another motherfucker being an asshole or some shit. It's like, okay, it's just it's fine. It's magnified a little bit, but it's something that we always knew. There's always corrupt people. There's always bad energies, and it's very rare to find someone who actually are happy for you to succeed. Like, that's why very few people in my life I like have that insight, especially you, bro. Like, you have insight in my head, which is insane. It's like you expressing and experiencing that love is so rare that when you see it in someone who really wants you to succeed for your own good, and they feel, which is the right way to do it, that's what I thought it was, without you getting anything out of it or like screwing in that end or whatever, that this is the experience that the highest experience you can actually achieve in life, you know.
I agree. Yeah.
And
simple experience, but it's the best. Like, it's the most human experience, you know, like, just, yeah.
And with these people, which I can see, I'm sure that like these are 1 in a million, you know, because most people are just like either jealous or afraid or insecure, or like they look at you a different ways, or like they're still in a cult mentality. Oh my God, we're like a group of like, you know, different nationality, you know, and just like gonna look at this dude as he's whatever the media put on you. That's how everybody looks on you right now. Like, I'm toxic masculinity because I'm tall and I'm like physically capable. So it's like I've been carrying all that beat down, and it's just like, so okay, so it's just why this is bothering me, you know, like what's going on? It's like, so I have to fix myself first. I have to apply love when I think that is like the kindness, the amazing attention to somebody who comes around you, and trying to show them that if I were in that place, I would love to have had that experience and make that experience for them. Even when you're like tired, when you can't give, and bro, once you do that, it just, you think that you have the least, or like you don't have anything to give, immediately you have this rush, homie. You feel like your soul got taken in, and just like
that's what it's all about.
Why I thought I could not give anymore or be nice to this person. What reason was stopping me? It's like, you stand up for 8 hours, you're tired, do some shit. It's like, dude, it's all in my head.
Yeah.
The body is supposed to be pain. Sure, use the body. You know, why we're here. We're using this body as a vehicle to achieve our things. But we never should deviate out of love. We never should think about us. We never should think about like me, myself against people. I should, it's stupid.
Dude, we should do a hidden camera experiment or whatever, because dude, you know those days where you're like just kind of in like a particular good mood, and you just kind of like let it roll, like, and you like, what I mean by let it roll is like you let it like come out as you're going, and like it's crazy how much different of an experience your day is when you do that, because you get it back tenfold, you know, or at least equal. And that is really encouraging, you know. And I know it doesn't happen every day, and, you know, because we're not all like bouncing off the walls in a great mood all the time, but like we should do a video where it's just like, you know, like for example, I mean, even today, like I'm thinking of a few experiences because I just had a little extra energy today. And like there's this like lady walking with her walker, and legitimately I liked her sweatshirt. It was like this like pink, purple, white, like cool V, like retro. And so I told her, I was like, I really like your sweatshirt, you know, that's really cool. And she just started laughing. She's like, oh, thanks, you know.
Yeah.
And then like 2 minutes later, like I was like about to buy some tea or whatever, and the guy in front of me was buying beer, and he read off his birthday, which was like coming up in a couple days, you know. So like when I went out of the store, he was like packing up his beer on his bike. I'm like, happy birthday, dude. He's like, thanks, bro. You know, like it was just like for like this little period of time, like I was just like communicating, just kind of putting good energy out. It was like everybody's like, oh, cool, you know.
That's what you don't understand, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not, you know, like I'm making a point that this was like a window of my experience. It doesn't happen all the time, you know. But like, even to prove it more to myself, we should do something like that, just for like a whole day, just like, you know, like tip extra, hold the door and for like more people, just like let it go from one to the next. Yeah, and just see like how that, just pack your day full of putting goodness like out hardcore, you know. I bet you it'd be like a really standout day. Yeah, you'd be like, wow, like,
yeah, we'll be thrilled. We have the gear, let's do it. I'm
down. I have to do that.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's go. We'll set up different cameras and stuff, and like start to do like feeding and good actions and saying hello and having like a body cam and stuff. You have some GoPros and stuff. Yeah. It's gonna be a little bit 3D and like from different dimensions. And
that'd be cool.
That'd be hella cool. Yeah. And finally, I'm mastering editing a little bit, you know, so it should be easy walking the cart. Because
or even just like we could like make it like a challenge, like pass out like 100 compliments in one day.
Oh, that's,
you know,
a real
so just
practical
like,
thing.
Yeah, so you have to like be on your toes, be real about it, you know, like so you're not like feeding people lines, you know. I mean,
no, but it's okay. I understand. It has to be genuine in the moment. People can feel that. Yeah, see that.
Yeah, like if somebody's wearing a loud jacket, you know they thought about that jacket. Yeah, and it's you know they know it's loud. You can be like, dude, that jacket just gave me a boost of energy. I really like that. You know, they're like, I bet you. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, man, experiencing the word of kindness, man, you'll master at this. Like, Brian, like I think from the very few times we met, it's just like that level of kindness is like, there's something interesting there, you know, like. Thanks, because man. I could never reach that for whatever reason.
No, you like, totally could.
But
everybody could.
I thought I couldn't at that time because I was like super afraid, you know. I wasn't coming like from abundance kind of like mentality. It was like scarcity. It's like, yes, like I'm afraid of people. They look at me as I'm like different. You know, you're not really understanding or realizing what's going on. So you're more like into yourself, and like the whole idea of like just, you know, like grinding and like being, you know, that kind of outsider, or that not really, but just like the friction with human being, if you're not really aware what's going on around you, taking it on like the face level, which is the worst way to take anything, is literally like you were living in that, and they thought you're that body, you thought you're that stuff. It's just like, no, bro, it's way bigger than this. There's a lot more longer to go. You want to end it up? It's pretty cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man, it's a lot to go on. There's like, and it's even with red pill, it's like once you are aware of something, it doesn't stop. It just keeps bigger. It's like, oh my God, there's another level to red pilling. Like, it's just amazing. So like, the more disastrous shit I keep finding out is like, oh God, okay, so I gotta like love everyone and love myself, and hopefully some people can do the same. That's the only way out of this. This is insanity what the world is.
It is crazy. Maybe that's why I've liked these videos so much. Have you know who MD Motivator and Jimmy Darts and
I think so.
There are these guys on YouTube and TikTok and whatever. They just like walk up to people and they give them like $500 at a time. You know, dude, these videos are like drugs for me, dude. Like, and talk about catching myself scrolling.
Of course, these are addicting because you feel the genuine act that he did, and you feel that grateful that real action that people feel so
So changed,
yeah,
dude. People cry over $500.
yeah,
They're just like,
yeah,
and it's like, it's not even just that they're like so happy that something cool
hmm
happened. Like, you can tell that on an occasion, these dudes find the right people at the right time. Like, they really
it's
needed it.
literally of course, but
They've,
everybody in struggle would need I
no, I'm
understand.
not saying that everybody couldn't use $500 at any
Yeah,
given time. Everybody needs
it's
it.
actually pretty cool.
But I guess,
No,
like,
no,
to
I'm
my
joking, I'm
point, that,
joking, yeah.
they'll have a video with like 6 people.
Mhm.
They're all getting $500,
Oh,
and some people are like, "You're giving me $500? Thanks, bro."
that's it.
Like, that's awesome. Thanks. And he said thanks. He smiled and he said that's awesome. So it's like, technically he checked all the boxes. It was a nice response. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But you're like, okay, because the next guy
tears
just
up.
starts bawling.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're an angel. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even know. Like, I didn't have money for rent. Like, or it's just like, and it's like, whoa, like that.
Yeah, man, that is beautiful. It like the seeing the reaction of people, like the gratefulness, and like especially when someone is in, because we all been that in one way or another, like that tight, like desperate feeling, even if it's not for money, but just like this, like oh my god, life is fucking knocking me on my ass right now. And when you find like a helping hand in any way, and but especially for these people, literally like this actually would put food in their bellies.
Yeah.
It's insane that to find some just passerby would like be able to give that love and just want you to do whatever you want with the 500. Hopefully not drugs, but you
Yeah.
know.
No, a lot of, dude.
No, I'm joking, but yeah, but just like that's a concept too that we felt like the homeless people out of their bed because they have drugs. No, bro, anybody can be homeless at any time. Like we spoke about this yesterday, and it's just insane that with the broadened horizon that I understand, it's just not really a choice. It's just God like blessed you to not be into that level
Yeah.
of this experience
Yeah,
because it is
straight up.
horrific.
Yeah, straight up.
It's nobody like not your smart, not your wit, not the money you made. Trust me, it's way more like a gift for you to exist and live in a house in a home. That's insane, And for human beings in general on planet Earth right now,
Yeah.
that is also rare as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of way to look at it. It's like, dude, you're living better than like
Oh yeah.
70% of the world.
Dude, that's why I get so fired up. I'm not like upset.
Yeah,
I'm not like
it's to be
I'm not
grateful, yeah.
complaining about anything.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. I'm like, we've got it so good. Everything is
100%.
and not only that, we are in a position to be amazing.
Mhm.
Like,
Use that to our benefit, not like ruin the whole this opportunity of like
we're blowing it right
yes,
now.
yes.
Like, we are really on this edge of like taking all the giants that we're standing on and doing them right and pushing society into just a really, really good place,
Mhm. And that's how it is, man. Just love and just do more love, share more love, and the only way for love to grow is when people see it, do it, love it, understand that it's just not this one chick or one dude. It's just like a love of the whole experience and your day and existence and the cars around the whole, concept of reality that you're living right now. Like, it's just not. It's not the. It's bigger than this. Like the whole point of view, worried about whatever. Like, no, man, don't worry about them. They're still in the same thing as you are. That vehicle. Some people did not master that animal, and the animal runs them, and some people just like use that wit, but they would take the animal securities, which is like greed, like they would want suffering and other people, which is still against them. So they chose, and that's even worse. So and we have a mix of that right now. We have a mix of people understand, like we're saying, exactly what they're doing, and people's like have no idea about being led because everybody's going that way. And it's just like, bro, stop and look at yourself and ask the deep questions and love yourself first. Because nothing comes out from a person who doesn't have love for himself.
it's true. Agreed.
Yeah, just love yourself, man. We all gotta experience better kindness through these hard times, and whatever happens, we just gotta make sure that like you're not gonna look at a human being as like, oh, he wanna kill me because he wanna rob me. Like, no, this human being should be excited to see other people if he's in desperate, because the natural, normal thing is to go and help that person because it's just in our need, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the pure nature of us is somebody is sick or like not like going through something, it's normal to help. If an animal is sick, you try to help. If a human being is on the side of the road, you know, you see like go get some food, you know, like
Yeah,
whatever you
hopefully.
could. Yeah, but again, it doesn't matter what they do with it because it's you're giving that. It's just their own personal journey, whatever happens
Yeah,
after that.
yeah,
So the karma for you is 100% because the intention is pure, you know. But so it just love ourselves, man. Like just relieve this insecurity and fake hate about stupid concept and bullshit that nobody even understand what the half of it means.
mm.
And just start to love everybody around you, man. And just try to love your life and do from there. That is the best point to take any action, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
because you don't wish harm on other people. We cannot be like them.
right, yeah,
That's a whole. That's a whole. That's why it is so hard because you're not only supposed to restrain yourself from like acting into that animal, and you're supposed to like not wish for your progress or your betterment harm on other people, suffering on other people, you know,
mm-hmm.
destruction and wars and famine on like a whole races of people. It's just like you need to understand that this is not the world it's gonna go in the future, that where
Yeah,
nobody's okay with that anymore.
yeah, yeah.
People are fed up. I know I am.
I hear that.
Yeah, man, just love, bro. But yeah, these videos, this is actually a very good idea. We should do that like at least weekly or something.
Just one, just to see it, you know.
Just to take a no, but I'm down for that. I'm down to like actually every week or something. We'll film when we're like going to like feeding or like you know like a soup kitchen or something, or like doing that ourselves, getting like Chipotle or whatever, you know, 20, 30 meals and just trying to
That'd be
post
cool.
them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's a weekly thing or like it's a consistent thing, at least once every 2 weeks, we have this like demand or like ritual of like giving. We have a giving day.
Dude, I get really self-conscious about these like doing that on tape though, because like I said, I'm obsessed with these videos. Like
But
it's literally like drugs for me. Some mornings I'll be drinking my coffee, like trying to wake up,
but
looking
it's
at my phone,
beautiful energy though.
and I'll start watching these you know, these giving
Yeah, I
videos,
know.
and like, dude, I like my whole brain breaks for the day. I'm like, this is what I should be doing. I should just be giving shit away all day long. Just give away and help.
No, not really, but help. Yeah.
I mean, well, same thing, you know,
Uh-huh.
whatever. Give away and
Yeah.
help, give away help, give away help, you know, and then but I'm like, I could just do that, you know, with no filming it, and no one would know, and like,
Ah.
you know, I would sleep good at night knowing I guess I helped,
Okay, that's
but
good.
like, what, like
You're
it needs
trapped.
it needs to be a little smarter than that, because if you just give all your shit away, you know, like first of all, I have like family members that need stuff too, so if I'm just giving literally
No,
everything
we're not
away to
talking
like
giving.
random
Yeah, yeah.
people,
No, no, no.
it's a little like it's like it could be irresponsible, you know, like on a bad
100%.
day,
Yeah,
you know. So like the better way to do it would be like create a little bit of a business about it, like a YouTube channel where now you can make money off of it, you know, to give away.
Mm-hmm.
It's a responsible way to create money to give away.
Yeah,
you know?
for people in need, and we're gonna post their like whole.
Yeah, their email address or their GoFundMe's or whatever. You know, dude, some of these guys, like, he'll give them $500, you know, and the guy will be like so appreciative of it that the people watching the video will like fall in love with the guy, and they always put their contact information
Mm-hmm.
in the videos, and so he'll come back like a week later and he's like, dude, all my fans watched your video and they got so fired up. We got your GoFundMe up and we have 30 grand to give to you today. And they do just like, you know, it's like life changing,
Yeah.
completely life changing, you know? So it's like, but then I get self-conscious because like,
Don't fall for the vanity trick, bro. Because it's not vanity. That's not the reason that moved you. But you need to share that content. Because there's so much bad shit content out there.
well, but like, dude, it's crazy how, I mean, this is like a common phenomenon on the internet, where it's like it could be 100 good comments and one bad comment,
But
and
you,
like
you
that's
should,
the one you
you
obsess
should
on.
never read the comments, Brian.
But
Especially if
first
you
of
want to
all,
do this.
no. First of all, like it's okay to read comments because you have to if you have an understanding of like the
You have to
the
communicate.
climate
Yeah.
of comments. You have to know the lens of how to read comments, you know?
Okay.
Like, I have my own lens that I write comments through. I'm the same jackass as everybody else where I'm like, you're an idiot. You know, like that's all I'm going to say today, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I know, like, comment sections are brutal, you know? But my point is like, I'll read, like, oh, Jimmy, this is amazing. You changed this guy's life. Oh, I've been crying watching this video. Da, da, da. Like all these great comments. And then this one guy will be like, you know, like, oh, like you're getting famous off giving chump change away, or like, you know, just some kind of like low, cheap shot at the whole thing. And I'm just like, it ruins it for me, dude. Like,
Really?
As I'm saying this, I'm realizing how it doesn't ruin it for me, but like it takes my inspiration. Like I'm like, yeah, I don't want to catch that kind of flack for trying to do good. I don't want to I don't want somebody to misinterpret it and be like, oh, he's just doing this to get famous, or like, you know, I don't know, like.
But that's the trick, Brian, because the negative energy, which is the devil, gonna always be there.
You're right. You're right.
So whenever you're doing something good, what are you gonna say? Oh, it's all fake. You're just doing this for views, right?
I know. Yeah.
And that's like, so. And again, coming back to like, it doesn't matter what people think about you, bro.
I know. I just.
I know.
It can come across cheesy. It can come across.
But why would you care if there is a message? That's what I'm talking about, because you're passionate about it. I can sense your passion right now, honestly, about this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all that fucking matters, bro. You're gonna find the people that, and actually be majority of people, like you're saying, you know. So you don't have to worry about that pathetic dude, man. They're all going through their own realm, and some people, their whole life, they've been going through the matrix and seeing the bad part of everyone, because that's what been emitting outside of them, you know. It's just like giving fear, insecurity, anger. So they're like, whatever. It's just like, oh, you're not better than me. Yeah, I think you can give money and I can't. And
no one's giving me $500.
Yeah, like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, like, we don't even look for people. It's like, I work 3 jobs. Like, why I don't get 500? It's just like, you know, and there's all legitimate reasons, but it's just, you know, he trying to knock down the essence, but it doesn't really matter to the people who's watching, and especially
and
to
getting helped, and
and to the people. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So like, you want to stop the whole idea from doing that because of someone. Like, imagine how people you stop.
I know that's a good way to put it. Like, they're doing more damage than I should allow, potentially. I mean, that's one way to look at it, I guess.
But what other damage can they do, bro?
Well, because and this is why, I mean, I've gone back and forth just even like speaking on the internet at all is like, there's like, for me, there's not a lot to gain. It's like, I mean, like in on a home run scenario, sure, like, who's, you know, anything's possible. It could open up some opportunity that I haven't had a vision for yet, or whatever. I don't know, but more likely than not, I'm just exposing myself to liability and criticism, and you know, I don't have a whole lot to gain from being public, you know.
But at the same time, you gotta come with like the understanding, or that's what happened for me, is like, I get my value from me, not from people. So it doesn't really matter what they say, as long as I know that I'm doing the right thing. And of course, I admit when I'm always able to learn, and I love to learn, and I easy with my ego death, you know. It's just like, okay, I didn't know that. I was not supposed to act this way. So, okay, now I know that a new ego is like, because the ego never dies, but just like, you're trying to restrain it as much as you can. So with more concept and better understanding, I'm doing better. But in general, man, like, your intention is more valuable than what they all say. And that's the whole thing, because when they see any good in the world, they want to knock it down with these like fucking vicious insecurity and shit. So it's like, yeah, man, talk all the shit you wanted to talk. You already been doing that, you know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you already been doing that. Like, imagine, like, because what else can they do? That's it.
Well, dude, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the world is kind of getting fucked up where, like, it's one thing to get canceled. Like, I'm I've got enough disagreeableness in me to where I'm like a buffalo with all that shit. I want to go right into it. It's like, oh, you're gonna try and cancel me? Like, what do I have to say? Tell me what to say.
Some dude on Twitter was saying that. I don't know what his name was, but yeah, I was like, what do I need to say that is offensive so I would get canceled?
Yeah,
it's like, that's hilarious.
But yeah, I know which crowd I want to be in. It's not that one. So fucking go ahead, get it over with. Cancel me or whatever. But nowadays, nobody's happy enough to just let you like take your L or whatever. It's like they go after your family or your
hit them and then down 100%.
Your employer or your former employer. It's just like people are just like so like tweaked now. They just can't like let people be, So that's what I'm saying. Like, I have a comfortable life. Comfort is like a drug, I could just avoid the criticism and live, do my creative stuff and just I could be okay, but
But you're not, though. That's
no, you're right, because I am getting older and I'm seeing everything go to shit. I'm like, look, I've never thought that I'm the guy with all the answers, but I'm at least seeing that there's enough problems where I'm like, that's a problem and we're not facing it properly. Like, I'm sorry to like have an opinion about it, but like, I feel a responsibility to like at least. My whole thing, I guess if I had to boil it down, my responsibility, I feel like, is to get people to have a little bit more respect for the truth, like, and the process to find the truth, like. So yeah, anyways, whatever.
So that's it, yeah. So you gotta create the truth as you walk. You gotta create that love, and like, if you're really excited about doing this, I'm excited too. Got your cameraman, and we can actually be able to help a lot more people feel better. And sharing it with a lot of people that apparently it's just connecting with you. And obviously, if I had this, like, if when I see a field like this, it's just so emotional for me as well. It's just like the reaction that people go through. It's like, you see how like little kind of kindness, doesn't have to be $500, can actually like change someone like state into like, an eternal bliss.
Yeah.
Because just little kind of, all what they were missing is just a little bit of help or love and push and you see them light up. They're just like, this is literally magic, dude.
Yeah,
and
that's real.
And I love magic, So it's like, no, man, I think this is a very good idea. It's also going to clear our internal karma and to be like it kind of cleanse us in a way by more giving, more like organized actions into like, I'm going to take today and I'm going to be like volunteering, or like we're going to be doing this, we're going to be helping these folks, or we're going to be in this different areas or stuff. And like we have the Bay Area too, where you grow up and stuff like that. So like there's different areas we can film and do that. But the idea that I'm excited about is like, I want to have a giving pledge of like, there is actually some time and effort. If it's not financial, then it's physical, at least at helping these people. And
sure,
if you run a film, so it's going to be 100% physical. So it's physical and financial. That's like the best thing, just you cleaning that kind of resonance that you all like, these good energy, this good negative energy that keep hitting you all day. You're just being immune to it, because nobody have a defense for love. When you try to be nice to someone, even when they're rude at you, if you stayed, that's what I do at the pharmacy. If they stayed being like, if you treat them extra nice, they break.
Yeah, they're like, okay, I'm not gonna battle this.
They break, bro. they break.
It,
it's like, oh, thank you, man. Like, and they feel embarrassed. It's like, dude, there's no resistance.
Yeah.
So why we're choosing the one with the most resistance, which is hate?
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's like, dude.
Well, because it's the lowest rung vibration.
Exactly.
If you're not at least mindful enough to know that your energy has fallen to its lowest rung, you need to do something about it. And sometimes all you have to do to make that go up one rung is just be aware of it. Because like
100%,
your natural instinct is to not want that. So it's like, as soon as you realize, you're like, oh, okay, all right, I'm back out of that.
Not worth it. Yeah, I'm
like,
not gonna think about that. Whatever's going on. Yeah, I'm good. I'm safe. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
100%. Because there's really no way around that. And that's the thing. It's just like, once you understand it, so love is not only your armor, it is your weapon too.
Yeah.
towards anyone, because
Yeah.
no one have
It-
like imagine some people like
Good point. Yeah.
coming like to come into like fuck you up or something, and you're like so like welcoming to them, respectful, talking just like, well, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
You know,
it-
it's
yeah.
like that doesn't feel like
It fucks their vibe up.
yeah, it's like don't feel like angry anymore. What's wrong with you, dude? God damn it,
Yeah.
you know. And it just does, bro. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to the point that like it is so pleasurable. I want people to experience it, or I want at least people to take this or collab their whole idea of trying to experience that you are a beacon of light, of love. Don't let that body, which is like made of mud, made from the earth, you know, from there we come and there we go, that blocks that light from coming out. You block it by like thinking about this avatar. The avatar is supposed to hold you as a being to do this mission. Whatever comes with that avatar, it's that avatar, bro. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Use that intellectual mind and go connect with the source. Go what you want to do, and it's always love. There is nothing to build without love. There is nothing that will grow for other people. There is nothing really that makes sense without love. Any business, any product, any new creativity is just made supposed to give you more love. Yes, because it's making life easier. You're able to connect with people. There is love going on. Without love, like that's it. You lose the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we're going out of love now. That's why everything going in chaos.
What's I wish I knew the Bible better, but like, what's the Bible's explanation for why evil? Well, like why evil is such a like present force all the time. Like
Because duality. You cannot have
free choice. You have to have
good and evil.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would just be heaven. It'd be heaven on earth, and
Which
that's
what we
yeah.
all came from. Unfortunately, we all came from an existence that is actually like wise heaven into like beings into this physical dimension experience. Because from what I've been told, life was boring because we can achieve everything we wanted. So we want that challenge of
Yeah.
like human grind. I wake up, I'm tired. It's like I never felt like this. It's like, motherfucker, I don't like this too. It's like, what do you do? So it's like going through that experience, you know, it's a choice. So like the whole suffering and stuff, and like every lesson, everything that happened for you, let as you think it's bad, it actually was a lesson. And for most people, you and I can relate on that. Some of the stuff that I thought it was like the worst thing that could happen to me, it turned out to be the best shit that can ever happen. It was like, oh my God, I don't know if I went that way, what I would be now.
Right.
And from there, man, it's just like learn and do, and just don't worry about it, and just try to emit that love. You have a purpose, you have a reason, you're special and unique in some way or form or shape, and a skill and a service and speak and writing, and like we're all talented, but nobody really sit down, go through that dark realm, through like that shadows, and like try to, okay, you know, whatever fucking happened has happened, you know, I shouldn't feel guilt or shame or like resentment, or just, how is this benefiting me? It's just, in fact, it's benefiting everyone but me, because I'm stopping me.
Yeah.
All they could do, if like before in like the Middle Ages, if they couldn't kill you or stuff, it's just, you know, for people in general, somebody hate you, could kill you. Now it's like something that is very like rare to happen in a life occasion. So it's like, what are you tripping about? What they say? Bro, come on.
Yeah, you're right.
Why does it matter? To who?
Yeah.
To the people that I lived my whole life in my mind trying to do what is right by the society, go to school, graduate, be like a medical professional, and like get the respect that you deserve, is like respectful. And of course that's all a sham. There's nothing. The society doesn't look at you any different. They look at a drug dealer with a kid guy, which is also a funny twist, but a drug dealer with like a pocket full of cash with more respect than you, for regardless, doesn't matter. It's all like a fad, you know. It's just like you were fed into this idea that doesn't even connect to the reality, that you're lost either or. And that's what's going on right now with a lot of people getting fired from the job, is like, but people already been quitting before they're getting fired. Yeah. People are just like, no, dude, fuck this. We're not working in it. And that's what I told you. So the whole idea is awareness. Once you find awareness, you can increase, enhance, and like work with other people that can raise you up. And then you can find something you can do alone or together, but it just like makes sense. And then you're working for yourself. You're providing something. You're not just used as like a vehicle energy mechanical body to work in this like form until you die and the body aches. And like, dude, there is different blesses in meditation and awareness that is like better than any kind of drug you could ever try, dude.
I agree. Yeah.
That like that assurance, that etheric feeling of like, you know, like you know, like not a I want to say like not that like not that sexual, but almost like something that feels like it because it's so dear to you, you know. It's just when you really connect and listen to like your being, your soul, the source. It's just like meditation would the easiest route for that. But once you understand that, bro, it just work from that perspective, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's no way around it. Like like, okay, so they're doing this because they're greedy. Like, I mean, it's true. There is a problem, but you know, the reason is like, you know, the oldest reasons, you know, for men, you know, just they're using that animal. They want to collect. They're very afraid that people have more money, afraid to not be in control. They're afraid to be, you know, dethroned or taken off or just like whatever. So they want to control. And the one who try to do that, they're not going to take that money with them. You know, they're not going to matter after they pass away. So like they're working their whole life and trying to make that huge suffering among the masses for their own personal benefit, you know. And like the whole idea is like, dude, you don't love yourself, because if you literally love yourself, even after all that money that you got, these people are not happy, dude, because it's mathematically impossible that they can reach the same level with that much shade behind it. Even if they try to forget it or act like, oh, I'm happy, bro, no. That's the rule of law. That's the rule of God. That's the math of the universe. You cannot be doing fucked up shit, and then you can be like a whole, like a good person and feeling that enlightenment and awareness. Also, and that's the part that is like less than the majority, which is the minority, the people that understand that awareness and use it for evil.
Yeah, yeah.
And these are people that are running the show right now.
Yeah.
But that's who's running the show right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately. So the people that actually reach the heightened awareness and they want everybody not to have the right awareness, and they're using that awareness and intellect and the knowledge to actually subside people so they can get more money. So they're aware and greedy. So you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the tip of the spirit evil.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And they combine both, like the metaphysical power of a human being, and then like they're trying to control with more rules, more laws, keep people distracted with like the 3D and dimension and what they said, what he said, the society, the culture, the way of the country, oh my God, the immigrants, the people, it's like so many problems. None of them speak about you or actually relate to you. Just supposed to make you scared, freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's just, so it's lets people be aware, love themselves, and that's just going to translate to everything else, man. That's what I've been avid into doing.
Where did this come from? Avid perception.
Avid perception came after I was asking myself, after I went through a very dark period in my life, what is the reason that I'm going through all that pain? Like, why am I experiencing this intense amount of pain consistently? And it's like my basal rate when I was like without any excitement or anything, it was like so low. It's like, dude, how is that even possible? First off, why? Because like I did everything correct in my mind or what, and then in my mind was like, I've been getting nothing but misery in this bitch. So it's like, okay, so what is the point of being alive? Because for me, I'm more into like into perspective, into like people would think about how stuff work. I would think about what is this stuff made of. You know, that was like my majority of going to like the pharmacy school and understanding the knowledge is like, how does that body work? I could understand how the world work. I want to understand how the human being work. So it's like for the same thing with this experience, I was like, how do I understand why I'm alive? What is the purpose of me like suffering for so long? And like was supposed to be dead like 3 or 4 times from shitty accident because I'm always like that wild motherfucker. And it's like, why God have say what is this? What is this? So I started to look at it from different perception. So I looked at it from like the religious perception that I grew up on, and then I look at it from the energy perception, which made more sense, which connected, which is all like different connection. I looked at it from the astrological perspective, the planet shapes and motions, and what do they mean to our like physical body when these planets move in different way. And it's also very true. And like the kind of energy we are, the zodiacs, and like the kind of metaphysical energy that's supposed to emit out of us, and like the chakras and the bodies and the mantras and the meditation. So I had like, and of course I have this immense knowledge in like the body and how it works and like working out. So I had this avid perception of like, I kind of covered it from all the level that is actually out to human beings right now. I mean, if there's more, I'm going to be after it too. I swear to God, I'm that dude.
What does avid mean? Like enthusiastic about, or you
like
do it a lot?
never quitting. Like I'm avid. Like whatever happens, I'm always looking for perception into understanding what is going around me correctly, and like what is the meaning of this, like what is it made of, like even this interaction, this emotion. I couldn't, for my brain, I know, bro, it's so intense for people who's listening to. I kind of dial up on one thing and I want to know what it is. I want to be able to speak about it in a comfortable, simple term, which something I can do easily. But in order for me to do that, is like I have to understand what the heck it is first.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, like the energy, the magnetic field, the kind of like Outwitting the Devil by Neville Goddard. This book is beautiful. I sent you the link, right? Just check it out, just like an audio.
Which book again?
Outwitting the Devil.
Okay. Is that the Napoleon Hill one?
Yeah, Napoleon. Sorry, I said Neville Goddard. No, Napoleon Hill, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And I think did you read it before or no?
I've read some of his stuff.
Okay.
I don't even know. I guess I don't know. In fact, after you sent me that, I went through my Audible list, and because I was like, I swear I've read this or listened to this or one of his other books, and I actually didn't find it in there, so I don't know.
Yeah, bro, this book is hidden knowledge, because it's literally, it's called Outwitting the Devil, guys.
Maybe I've just listened to his, like, he's got a bunch of clips on YouTube.
Yeah. But
like,
this book is like, I love you. It's gonna give you another level of red pill that you didn't even expect. I swear to fucking God, it's just. Like, okay, thank you, Lord, but maybe less red pilling and more like.
I know, that's what I was about to say. Is like I have so many people now that send me like,
horrific
just
shit
the next thing. Yeah, I'm just like, and I'm like, look, on one hand, I'm all about being aware, and like, you can't be too aware. You don't have to have an opinion about stuff. Just be aware of it. Like, just be aware. But I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, I think I'm tapped out of like.
Yeah.
The next thing, because I'm like, dude, there's plenty to focus on right now. And
what is the point of the next thing when they're all leading to the same place?
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter what other worse
less
shit.
Government. Yeah, that's the point. Just fucking less government, less tech. Yeah,
man, wholesome.
More self responsibility, less. Yes. What do you call it? Like sourcing out of your life, of your goals, of the steps. Outsource. Like stop looking for the fucking app to do whatever it is that you think
you want to do.
Just go do it. More
like, active approach, 100%.
Everybody's just
Yeah, man. And man. It's just the more you think lazy is better, or like not moving is better. What pushed me out is like, one day you're going to be in a grave. I was like, dude, why you wasted like fucking years just sitting on your ass, man?
Yeah.
You have no other time to the same experience again. Why did you waste that motherfucking time?
Dude,
it's just, but of course it's like understanding, but you're supposed to be grateful when time, because they tell you.
Dude, I cringe so badly at how much time I wasted as a kid,
but that's good. That's cute. But that's what it is. Is like they tell you that time only starts when you're aware, when you're conscious.
Yeah, what they say, you have two lives. One starts
when you're born.
The second you realize that it doesn't last forever.
Okay.
It's like, and it's so true, man.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the life that you live when you're a kid. You just like you die at some point, and
it wasn't even on your mind.
It just feels like it goes up and out forever, you know? And then the second you realize, like, oh shit, like
It's coming.
everything changes. Like everything changes. You're like, what do I want to get done? Do I even know what I want to get done? Like, what needs to be done? Like, you're like, oh shit, all these questions actually kind of matter, because if you desire to answer any of them, you need to get on it. You know? Like, time is ticking.
Yeah, man. Time is ticking, and it's action to ourselves, to love ourselves, and get into that, dark night of the soul, which is supposed to show you all the bad things you're supposed to learn and develop. And right now, everybody should be practicing what they learned. It's just Mercury was retrograde, and it's like supposed to bring a lot of emotions instead, like make you think about past relationships and make you actually push things that is not good for you out. And like from that, after it went away, it's supposed to like, okay, now it's like you're not gonna feel that bad again if you had something to go through over. But generally, like, it's time to work. It's time to apply. It's time to direct that knowledge into practical thing that the masses can get value, or like you can provide value to the collective. That's what we're trying to do. And just love, man. What's support life is supported by life.
I actually own the collectivepodcast.com.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
No fucking. Oh, so, okay, no way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cuss. For real?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was.
That's such a heightened. How old
Actually,
are you?
these mics, I bought these for my friend Bruce, who I was trying to get him to do a podcast. This was like 7 or 8 years ago. And I got that name, the Collective Podcast, for that
dope.
show.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, you can
It's
make
good
your
name.
own. Yeah, it's fucking dope name.
Yeah.
The Collective, having like shirts. The Collective. Oh, it's be good.
Might have to dust that one off.
Yeah, bro. I think everybody has to show their tools now. Yeah, it's time. It's enough learning and contemplating and practicing and second doubting ourselves. It's time to like put that plan into action. That's what everybody's doing this year, bro. Yeah, just like if there's other time to stand up for yourself and do what you want, it's just right now. And it's gonna keep getting harder and harder and harder, and it's just until it's gonna be really. It's just like this time, this possible event we're having, we cannot exist in like 10 years. It's gonna be much more difficult, much more harsher, much more different elements and stuff. Or who knows?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea what the hell the future brings.
A lot better.
It is getting really hard to predict this shit.
yeah, I'm not in the business of predicting either. All right, bro. Thank you, man, so much.
For sure, dude. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We've one of many with Mr. Brian. Always fun to have you, bro, here.